has been my only discipline.
जी
I know. Please
ओके
don't
जी
keep us reminding that, Shishtaji.
ओके जी ऑलराइट
We can
लेट अस
again join you.
yeah I hope when the next batch starts certainly yes
Yeah,
जी
yeah.
let us thank you जी let us begin with the invocation सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं
Hari Om.
Hari
yeah
Om.
can someone recollect what is it that we've seen from the link and move ahead yes please anybody
Where's Pallavi? She's good at this.
yeah Pallavi, you have been nominated by Shashi ji if you wish to take it up.
Oh,
So
um,
the last session, Krishna was telling about those who are dear to him.
Yeah.
So and he has given two, like two shlokas we have completed, and he said,
Yes.
wait, I don't actually remember.
No
at
problem.
which-
That's fine. That's fine. But you covered it very well, actually. If you have described, I talked about Shloka 14 and 15. We have come to the interesting part of the Bhakti Yoga.
eh,
Some people say this is the only important part of the Gita because you become dear to Krishna. You learn how to become dear to Krishna. You have learned the secret of life. You've learned the secret of yoga. You have learned the secret of everything in the universe. If you become dear
is
to
it
Krishna, yes,
is it dear or dearer? I thought we're all dear to him anyway.
Dearest.
dearest, dearest to Krishna. And there can be
Thank
many
you.
dearests for Krishna. I think in our lives also we use that word to so many people who are very, very close, isn't it?
Yes,
Can we say your
yes.
mother is dearest or father is dearest? Nobody can make a division. It is like that.
True.
Same with the child also. No matter sometimes some natures of the members do make us question whether they are dearest or not. But ultimately, from the right place of the heart, you know everybody is dearest. So this aspect that Krishna has talked about in the slokas 14, 15, 16 about who is dearest to him, and that's important because previously he told about the ways you can go close to Krishna. How can you become free? And Krishna very nicely gave option 1, option 2, option 3, and option 4. And ultimately, sarva karma phala tyaga. If you can do this, you are automatically activating yogic consciousness inside of you.
Mm.
Becomes your life becomes the sadhana, and you don't have to seek any siddhis come to you. This is something which is very essential. One wonderful sadhak of Pondicherry Sri Aurobindo Ashram, one very senior elderly woman, Kusumben, she was a very great example of someone who we can say sadhana leading to siddhi, and the person is not bothered about the siddhis also. One was the very interesting aspect of she being conscious of her departure and wanting to greet all the nice people in her life and complete the, slate, clear the slate. I mean, tick all the missing checks, whatever she had to do, checking all the boxes, something like that. All who were nice to her, she called them over, and next day early morning, she's passed away in the sleep. Everybody was surprised, and it was like my sister was herself little bit confused. Why did she call anybody to her home? Because generally people who are living in a they don't have such gatherings or anything like that. And she was in her
Mm.
late, I think 90s only. She was in the 90s, and that time she called them
Eh,
over.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. And another interesting thing was she had come to my Guruji to learn pranayam. It was very interesting for me to see that because she was more senior to my Guruji in age. But she came with a pen and paper, and it was very sweet the way she sat and she was learning and she was trying to note down. That time when Damliji talked about a particular pranayam, which it was Anulom Vilom, which I think everyone, many of us are aware of it. It is a very nice, simple pranayam. And she said, "Oh, I was told to do this way. Fine, I will follow this way." And while talking, Dhammeji said somebody who does this pranayam regularly and concentratedly, and the person is able to do it for a long period, their breathing pattern changes. And he said, normally both the nostrils get active, not just one, which is in the case of general people, but yogis are having both nostrils active. She actually hit her head like this. Oh, acha, I thought there is something wrong with my nose. Her both nostrils were already active and she did not even care about it as a siddhi. Same thing about awakening. I never had a chance to speak to her about spiritual experiences. I was just having one job of delivering the products there. I was like a delivery boy going and giving her Ayurvedic products that time. But I would always get a wonderful vibe of seeing her. But she had different experiences, occult experiences, which people have. But all of these, she never spoke about it. And once, very nicely, one more sadhak had shared a principle that they believe in the Divine Mother, Mataji. The Divine Mother will give whatever siddhi is required and she will take away also when she needs. You don't have to purposely try to attain certain things and personally or individually do the sadhana. The sadhana is done by the divine when the instrument is right. And Krishna is telling the way to become an awakened instrument. Sarva karma phala tyaga. A simple word is the last option which Krishna says. Easy to do. Whether or not you are very brilliant in your consciousness, whether or not you are having great tapobala, whether or not you have done great deeds, it does not matter. If you can offer everything, every action, that was what Krishna shared. And with this, we come into the next part, which is the final part of this chapter on Bhakti Yoga, where Krishna is talking about who is dear, who is dearest to Krishna. Krishna says, Santushtaha satatam yogi yatatma dhrida nishchaya maya arpita mano buddhir yo mad bhakta same priyaha. That soul who remains ever in contented happiness, always practicing yoga with a steady firmness, he who has surrendered to me his intellect and mind, dear to me that devotee you shall find. That person is priya to me, is what Krishna is saying. So he's not used the dearest also, Shashiji here. He's used the word that person is priya. He did not say
Yeah,
ati priya or anything also. So I
yeah.
mean, we have to do some work to become dear
Yes,
to Krishna, maybe. He loves all, but he finds them very dear when his wards
yes,
do the right thing. Yeah, all
yes,
right.
absolutely.
Pankaj is
What
saying
does
something?
it,
Yeah.
sorry,
I'm just sorry for the inconvenience, but what chapter, which sloka we are on? Like last
12th
2 days,
adhyay,
I'm lost.
15th shloka, sir. 12th adhyay,
Okay,
15th shloka.
ठीक. Thank you.
Yes. Shashiji, you were adding something?
I just wanted to ask you when he says, to whom both the auspicious and inauspicious are
No,
same,
we have not
what
gone there
does he
yet.
refer to?
Which shloka is this?
You just read the 17th, didn't you?
No,
15th, 15th.
14.
No, I'm looking at
14.
14. We have not yet
14.
come
Oh,
there. We
14.
covered 14 and
oh, you
15.
just, sorry, apologies. I'll leave it for
Yeah,
the
no problem.
moment.
That's
Sorry.
fine. That's fine. So, another place he talked about somebody who is not causing disturbance or chaos to the world outside, or that person is not disturbed by the chaos. Like they say, mast raho masti mein, aag lage basti mein.
I
This
didn't know
actually,
that.
it is in a different way, but it talks about a yogi. Yogi is in that lie always that it's all right.
Yeah.
Whether I am
Yeah.
successful or I am a failure in the eyes of the world, it makes no difference. That attitude is there in the yogi who has become
Mm.
completely free from, then such a person will not have anxiety attacks, isn't it? Normally, who has anxiety is because of what will people think of me, what will happen to
Mm.
me, XYZ factors are there. Psychiatrists will do their best evaluation and explanation for the process behind these acts. But generally, when a person is not concerned or worried about the future or worried about any of these factors, or
Yeah.
in short, when the person is free of attachments, such a person can become free of anxiety as well. He gets free of
Mm.
fear, free of anger also, all these emotions. Such a soul who is free of anxiety, who is free of pleasure, who is free of anger, such a soul is dear, is what Krishna says. Further, let us see. Anapekshaha shuchir daksha. These we continue from 16th shloka now of the 12th adhyaya. Anapekshaha shuchir daksha udasino. gatavyatha sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhakta same priyaha. This is very nicely misinterpreted by many. This here Sarvarambha Parityagi has been told, isn't it? Somebody who has stopped all beginnings, meaning I will not do any new project. That is what a misinterpretation is done. Like one person who literally took the words of Sri Aurobindo when Sri Aurobindo has said, do nothing. He said, I got the direction from Sri Aurobindo. I'm not going to do anything. That is his career. I told my mom also. A young man, almost nearly, I think, 8 to 9 years or maybe 10 years my junior. He was telling, I have decided, I have got my inner calling. I am going to follow the advice I have received directly. It is to do nothing. So I am going to do nothing. I have submitted my resignation. So I hope so. I hope he really got that inner call. But it was not it was maybe and discovers what he has to do. Because Gita talks about doing something. So let us see what is the real meaning of Sarvarambha Parityagi. Krishna says, this person is dear to me. Anapeksha Shuchir Daksha. Udasino Gatagatha Sarvarambha Parityagi Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priya. Expecting nothing. He is pure and perfect in every action. It's like you have no expectations. When you have no expectations, you will do your duty as you are meant to do it, isn't it? Whether or not I'm going to get something in return. Many times people will say, if I do this, my boss will appreciate me and give me a promotion or a recommendation, or I will get a raise. And then they don't get the raise, and immediately they stop doing the work right. Because the motivation is gone. When the motivation is your expectation, your work will be limited by that expectation. Here is a yogi who has given up all expectations. I will keep doing my little works, whether however they are, without any expectation. That way, the action is pure and perfect. And when you have no expectations, you stop discriminating priority work and less priority work, meaning all works which come to you, which you have to do as a duty, they are all the same high priority. It may be just folding a bed sheet. That is also a high priority work. It is also sometimes the most important decision of your life. Taking that also is same priority because duty is duty. But we can say you may have short-term goals and long-term goals. That's all fine. You can have them, but not do your action with expectation. So when your action is done without expectation, your action is more concentrated, your action is more conscious, and naturally it becomes pure because there is a touch of a higher consciousness working in us when we do actions without expectations and is free from the pains of worry and agitation. Normally, expectations are not there. What is there to worry? Where is the agitation? Absolutely nothing. For every work begun, the ownership he forgoes. To me, such a devotee is dear and close. Sarvarambha Parityagi means who has taken the firm decision to let go of ownership of every new action that is done. Every new work that is begun, I am doing it because of me alone. This work will go ahead. These are all unnecessary thoughts which come into our head. Are we replaceable?
Always,
Isn't it? We may be unique,
always.
but we are replaceable in God's scheme of things. Krishna told that to Arjuna even while showing that horrendous Vishwarupa. He just told Arjuna that clearly that even if without you I will manifest my will. So one aspect of this is when we realize that our ahankar will not come in. When we do that, this ahankar will not enter inside of us. That I alone can do that. So when new projects come to you, you take it as a blessing from the divine and recognize that the owner is the divine. I am just the instrument. Can somebody think of any projects which come in? How we can look at it as the divine, with it like as look at the divine as the owner in the projects, in the material projects that come to us? Anybody?
It can be anything. It doesn't
Yes.
have to be at work. It can be in your uh, home life. Somebody
Okay.
take the extra burden on.
Example?
burden. I use the word loosely. Take the
Yeah.
extra work on.
Any example,
Um,
Shashiji? Can you share an example?
Uh, very, very quickly, very loosely. I used to maintain my parents' um, bills and things.
Okay.
They're long gone. I'm still doing it because family members are living there. I'm tired of it, but I'm continuing till it's all sorted. I do
Yeah.
go up and down, and I think, well, you shouldn't have started it. You should have stopped it when they left. But it is what it is. It's
So you do
family,
it
so
without
you do it.
expectation, whether
I
or
don't
not people
expect
praise you.
anything. No praise, nothing. Just a little bit of falling in line would make my life easy.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
like I said, it could be anything. Cook 2 meals a day instead of 3, or cook 3 meals a day
Okay.
instead of 2.
Fine.
Anything,
All
could be
right.
anything.
Okay. Okay. Fine. The Shashiji has given a nice example of doing thankless jobs. Motivation for doing thankless jobs, you will get it. That is something because the thankless jobs also are need to be done, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to
Yes.
be done.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Pankaj is adding something.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I want to add something here. This line interpretation we started with no expectations.
Yes, sir.
So in our personal life, we started with low expectations actually.
Hmm.
So to go to no expectations directly is very, very difficult. So we
But when
started
low
with
expectations get fulfilled, they lead to high expectations, no?
no. Low expectations means you had high expectation, but now
Huh.
you're reducing that to low
Okay,
expectations.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
So
That
from on
journey.
the scale of 1 to 10, you are now
Right.
at 2 or 3. So you don't expect too much from other people or even your relatives, friends, boss, colleagues, anybody. And then from there, we are trying to evolve to no
Yes, sir.
expectations,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rightly
come to
said, sir.
that 0 or 1 level.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
we are trying hard. And we have been
Absolutely.
little successful there, yes.
Lovely, lovely to say that. It's lovely to say that. That's, I think we all have to tell that to ourselves only and understand where we are on that
Yes.
scale. How are we going? It's like if you
Mm.
want to go to a foreign country, you need a visa, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to be priya to Krishna, you need to go to zero expectation. You have to have that zero expectations. Yes, anybody else would like to add something? You are welcome.
I
I
would like to answer. Sorry.
Yes, ji.
Sorry, go on, Anjali ji.
Okay, thank you. No, my father passed away in 2010. I mean, sorry, to
Ji.
2013. And
Ji.
he used to subscribe to the foot and mouth paintings. He used to pay an
Ha.
annual subscription. So, and they
Ha.
used to
Okay.
send some, yeah, they used to send some cards and bookmarks around. So I think for quite some years he had been doing that. So after he passed away in 2013, they continued to send the greeting
Hmm.
cards and the bookmarks
Yeah.
without knowing that he's no more. So I took it up and I continued to subscribe without them knowing at all that my father's no more.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
still send it to my father's address, thinking he's still alive.
Okay.
And I didn't want to
Yeah.
change it either. So I
So sweet.
continued to
So
pay
sweet.
the subscription.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And there's something, these are little actions which nobody in the world knows or nobody will know. But Krishna knows.
Mm.
Just in light of what Anjali ji shared, there is somebody called Vijaya ji who has completed a session and she is leading us. Excuse me. She leads us in the Krishna's Delight family, a group of people who have completed this study of the Gita and remain in touch afterwards. She shared the experience of an uncle of hers who was a what we can say go sevak who would do seva to cows. And a very old individual, elderly person, very sincerely he did all whatever seva he could. But then he became unwell and old, and so and he had to leave his usual place, and he went to another relative's place, and that is where he passed away. She was shocked to see, or astounded, or even it was like a miracle for her to see that two cows from God knows where came there, and that place they were shedding tears outside of the place, and that home has never seen that before. And she actually shared a video of that to me. She said, I wanted to take a recording of it because I don't think I'll be able to prove it. And I was so surprised. And she said, the people living in the house also had not seen that. So there is when Krishna says, I am the Sakshi. I am the Sakshi, he means he is the witness and he is there, he is watching. We don't have to worry about who is praising us, who is criticizing us, whether we are wrongly pushed away out of some project or you are not given what is due. It does not matter at all. The divine watches us. We have to just keep doing our duty, irrespective of what is going to be coming. Somebody may throw roses at us, somebody may throw stones at us. Look at both of them normal with a poise, because the one who is watching knows, and your deeds are allowing you to move forward. It is not that he is just, making a record and giving you brownie points. Tick plus, okay, this person has done so much good, so I'll add. That makes you evolve, as Pankaj shared right now. We evolve as individuals from having so many expectations to lesser expectations. It is so simple when your life becomes much more simpler or much more freer as we evolve. And when we
Mm.
go to that state of zero expectations,
Mm.
that
And
is
I
the
think
state where Krishna comes with us wherever we go. That is how Tukaram and all of them had reached those state, and they could actually say that जेथे जातो तेथे तू माझा संगाती. Wherever I go, whichever place I go, Krishna, you are my companion. He says, Chalavisi hati dharoniya. It's like I become a small child and you take me. You take me and you lead me. And this is the same. The divine is equidistant from everybody. We just have to understand our expectations keep us away from the divine. That is all. That is the separation of consciousness from the higher consciousness. We get disturbed because of our expectations. It's like a child getting too attached with one toy and forgetting the parent who has given the toy because, and then that toy breaks and the child starts crying, not realizing that the parent can give another toy whenever the parent wishes. It is like that. So attachments have to be zero because that is one way. Krishna says, expecting nothing, he is pure and perfect in every action. Mitali ji wants to add something?
Yeah. Sant
Yes,
Gora
please.
Kumbhar, you must have heard of.
Ha ha ha. Yes, yes,
He
yes.
stamps his own child.
Yeah, that's a very interesting legend
Yeah,
of Gora Kumbhar who had stamped his own child and he in the nad of the divine.
divine. Yeah. He was a
And the
potter.
child was restored to life, is what we. These are all very interesting experiences which are part of our culture in
Yeah.
different parts of India. Very difficult to understand and verify, but people have.
I
Yes, ji.
I didn't understand the bit that you just said, that little story about the Kumbhar. What was the
Yeah, so
story?
yes, Mitali ji, would you like to add?
Yeah, he was a potter, and he used to stamp the mud and what do you call it? Mixing the mud with the legs.
For the mixing action, yeah.
Mixing action, yeah. So his wife told him, I'm just going out to take care of the child. It was a newborn baby, like maybe 10 days old. And in that, like he was busy with bhajan and all that, praising God. And with that action, like he stamps his own child and the child dies. And but then the Lord
The
brings him
divine
back
brings
to
the
life.
child back.
Yeah, he brings the
Wow.
child back.
And this is very, very interesting, and this is what we call supernatural
He gets
experiences.
goosebumps
If
when
you
we talk
see,
about this. Yeah.
yeah, because
Wow.
it breaks our logic. But there are certain parts of India where we have people who have documented such experiences which don't people don't really understand how they
Mm.
happen. Like even Valalar is one of the very great saints, Ramalinga Swamigal or Valalar, who before Sri Aurobindo talked about the supramental manifestation, where the divine light transforms the material, what we can say, what is the base, no? The vessel of the divine. It is transforming. Human body can become transformed. Our cells can get transformed. This possibility is can be reached. This was one of the first concepts given by Sri Aurobindo about supramental transformation. Just around that, before his time, Valalar had talked about dematerialization, Arut Perun Jyoti, or body disappearing into light. That is what he had achieved, and this is signed by a Britisher who was a skeptic,
Mm.
who had been who was nominated or who was authorized to be present in front of that gathering, because that was the day when Vallalar had decided to go into Samadhi. He went into a room and so many people were there, and that was the plan of the Britisher to say, look at all these Hindus who are very superstitious fools. Today we will be able to prove it. But he went inside of the room and afterwards he did not come out. And it was a small room and there was no exit for that room. And when they went inside, they found nothing there. So that was some of the experience. So anyway, let us come back to the Gita. What we see is these are all levels of bhakti where people are able to reach the highest state. So which is for love for the divine. If that can be a driving factor, it will be very easy. For love, we don't have any expectation, isn't it? The most cranky person becomes the most soft spoken, quiet, and tolerant person, also, isn't it? For the one you
Yeah.
love, you immediately transform. So, if you can love the divine with all your heart, you can try to reach that beautiful state. Because here you become free from all the worries and all your actions. You are not the owner because you understand. Na ham karta, hare karta. Divine is the owner, divine is the doer. I am just the middleman who is doing the work. The work that comes to me, through me, I do it. That is all. Let's continue. Sri Aurobindo had aspired for the intervention of the divine, because when he would write, there was something called automatic writing. He would just go on writing. His mind did not intervene also. But when he was writing Savitri, he focused on the intervention to happen directly in the pen. He didn't want the intervention of his body also. Let it happen through that, and then the most remarkable work came into existence. So, if you want to do some of the most beautiful artworks, learn to throw away the ownership. Let the divine do your artwork. You become the pen, like how Arjuna was told, become my become my bow, Arjuna. Let my arrows get fired through you. You are not going to worry about consequences now when I am doing everything. Let us see. यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि च न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न कांक्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः समे प्रियः. He neither rejoices nor rejects. A person neither rejoices nor rejects, neither grieves over nor desires material objects, to whom both auspicious and inauspicious are the same. That devotee as dear to me I acclaim. Such a person neither rejects nor, nor rejoices. What is this duality of rejoicing and rejecting, and how do we go beyond this? Anybody? Neither rejecting nor rejoicing.
Could be somebody's win,
Sorry? Become?
somebody winning something or
Okay.
losing something.
Okay.
Somebody you don't like.
Yeah, you don't have hatred for that individual, isn't it?
Yes, so you don't rejoice at their fall,
Okay.
nor
Okay. Yes, Shashiji is saying.
I couldn't get to the reject bit. You'll have
No
to
problem.
finish it.
Okay, fine.
properly.
Yes, no, that's fine. We're just piecing it together. Pankaj,
Never
yes.
elated. Never elated.
Never?
Elated.
Never
Yeah.
elated or over
Elated.
enthusiastic in
Yeah.
celebrating. We have seen that in Olympics, champions celebrating before crossing the finish line, and then
Yeah.
4+ years or sometimes a decade of efforts go away because this person started rejoicing before the
Yes.
reaching the finish line. Once it happened to me on the Gita class only. I was so happy. Wow, electricity has come. Again, before I can complete wow, it again went. What happened was it came, went, came, and whatever it was doing was it was alternating because it's an alternating current. But why should I alternate and fluctuate so much? It was not required. That was one experience. Yes, sir. Pankaj is sharing something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll keep it simple. My crux would be just detachment. I mean, if you're detached
Okay.
to something, that
Ah,
rejoice or rejection or anything of
okay.
that sort,
Yes.
it just keeps away. And you are inert to
Okay.
any
Hmm.
feeling. That's what I would expect.
Inert to any feeling, sir?
Yeah, I mean, if you're detached, right?
Okay. There are two types of we can say detachments also. One is we can say if we call vairagya also, there's one type of vairagya which is called shmashan vairagya,
Highest level,
which
yeah.
is an indifferent detachment where you are absolutely not even intervening at all, where you can
Correct.
intervene.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the fluctuation of emotions should not be there. Emotions
Right.
can be there, is what Krishna says. So emotions can be there, only the fluctuations and getting carried away, that is something which is
You
to
need to
be
control.
achieved.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Take.
So, and then neither grieving over nor desiring material objects. This is also something. Oh, my favorite bike is gone. That's it. Most of the college students, if they have an accident or something happens to their bike, they would say, I can fail this year, entire year in my semester, but not my bike. Why did God do this to me? What was wrong? Because we have so much attachment to our objects, we feel they are ours. We try to possess. We can't possess objects, we can't possess people because we are not ghosts. Though in Sanskrit we are called bhuta, but it's not our job to possess anybody or anything. We are living entities who are free, so we should become free over any what we can say attachments towards objects also and things. I may like a particular pen, I may like a particular type of food, I may have my own preferences, but I should not get so attached to that preferences that I miss out the higher purpose of my life. So that is what Krishna is talking about. And in this, the person becomes so clear in the heart, so clear that the person is transcending what we see in the next line, to whom both auspicious and inauspicious are the same. That devotee as dear to me I acclaim. What is this meaning of this? To whom both auspicious and inauspicious are the same.
Always,
That's what I
always.
wanted to know.
Okay, Shashi is saying, we look at it. Yes, ji.
Yeah.
Anjali ji?
No, something, I don't know if it's related to this, but I've noticed human nature when something good happens. Let us say, suppose I win a lottery tomorrow and I say I'm so excited and elated. Maybe I'll thank
Yes,
God. But when something bad happens, you would immediately say, why me, God? Why did you do this to me? But
that's
when you
right.
win a lottery, you don't ask God, why did you give me a lottery and not to somebody else? Why didn't somebody else win
Okay.
it? And why did it happen to me? So when
Ah,
good things happen to us, we do
yes,
thank God, but we don't ask
that's
God,
right.
why did
That's
you
right.
choose me? But when something bad happens, we immediately ask God, why did this happen to me? Why did you have
Okay.
to do this to me? So both
Okay.
auspicious and inauspicious, how we react to it
Okay.
differently. So both should be considered
Okay.
equally.
So this is a very nice example that Anjali ji shared. And Shobha is good and inauspicious is not good or bad. That is one nice way of looking at things. All right.
Mm.
But
The,
sometimes
per,
there
the,
are Shobha events and Ashobha events, isn't it? Vijuji, where's Maji?
the person who is full of devotion, ever full of devotion, will never think of inauspicious or auspicious time.
Ah, yeah, yeah. It will transcend that,
Everything
isn't
is
it?
at the right time. Whatever you do,
Everything is
it's
at
the
God's
right
time,
thing.
isn't
Everything
it?
is
It is not,
God's
Yeah.
willing. God willing, everything
yeah,
is
because
a good time.
that time from human perspective varies so much, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It varies. You just see time zones change. Within countries also. If you're in America, you're having multiple time zones. If you see, every country has its own different time zone. There's a change. There is a
Mm.
change. But for if the time is God's, the hour of God, it is the time of God. Can we say, hey, Bhagwan, don't work right now? I saw Panchanga, it is Rahu Kal. Can we tell that to the divine? Can the divine not manifest something which is supreme, which is the will of the divine at even inauspicious time and make it auspicious? We talked about Shmashan. Shmashan is considered to be an inauspicious place because that is where the bodies are burnt, isn't it? Right from school children, they walk carefully, or sometimes they run fast because they don't want any ghost to come to them and trouble them. But can they think that who is sitting in the smashan? The great Shiva is the yogi who is there only with bhasma all over his body, isn't it? That is Shiva. So who is Shiva? Shiva means auspicious only, no? So the most auspicious one is sitting in an auspicious place. Or if you see our Adi Shankaracharya, when he was asked, who are you? That time, one of the verses he had said, Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham, na mantro, na tirtham, na veda, na yajnam, chidananda rupaha, shivoham, shivoham. Meaning, he's like, I am not even punya, I have transcended this. What is punya and what is papa? A young boy was able to say this. His own original composition. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. What is auspicious? What is inauspicious? They are the same. We will not get worried. Sometimes we are filled with unnecessary worries. Am I having a bad time? Once we had gone to Thane in a park, I met one person. He came and started explaining to me. He became a friend for a particular period. But when I was not able to give him what he wanted, he then ceased to be a friend. But he said somebody had done karani on him. So his life is going, we can say, downhill. Somebody has done something in this particular day. They did this on me. From there, they transferred some mantras, and that is why I am having certain experiences. Well, whether these, and some people have had experiences of some people having such strong negative vibes on someone else and watching it manifest, that it instills a fear inside of the head. How many of us believe 13th is the unlucky day, or 13th day of the month, or number 13 is unlucky?
I don't believe.
You don't believe, isn't it?
I don't believe.
If I have to do a good work, should I go ahead and do it, or should I stop because a black cat crossed my path?
You just get on
Exam.
with it, isn't
We
it?
have to get on with it. Can a doctor think of it if your family member is admitted in the hospital, but it is the 13th day of the month and the doctor who is supposed to do the operation has seen a black cat cross outside of his door? Should he come out or should he not come out? If you ask anybody, that person will say, no, 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 I may not come out, but he has to come out because his duty is important, because it's a divine duty, it's an important duty of every individual. Dharma must always be upheld. So we must also transcend this. And one very nice experience I had was, once I had an experience, chance to go to a Gurukul in Pune, and it was one of the very, you can say, full traditional Gurukuls. And the name of the building was only Ved Bhavan. And they were so beautiful. And the Guruji there was living as per the same traditions. And there, a cup of the tea which was there, that cup of tea was broken by one of the members who was accompanying me. And that person felt so bad. I have come to such an auspicious place and I have now broken glass which is considered inauspicious. But the Guru Ma there, she just smiled and said, well, it is a sign of Ma Lakshmi being Ma Lakshmi's presence, so don't feel bad. I was very surprised to see a very different experience, interpretation of something which is considered inauspicious. Why is it inauspicious? People say it's because it's an indication of the mind not being conscious. So you have to immediately become alert. Just like overflowing spilt milk is considered a bad sign in a household, because if you are allowing milk to overflow, it is because you are not conscious of what you are doing. Somebody who
But,
is not conscious will not do only one wrong, unconscious act, isn't it? It will
but in some
unconsciously
places,
spreads.
it should overflow, they say, for a housewarming. Yeah. So it is two different
Okay, so
versions.
these are all. So we understand that different traditions are there, but the aspect of attaching fear to what is auspicious and inauspicious should not be there in our head, and we should learn to transcend. I wrote the Gita in the year which was, according to my Panchang, the worst year of my life. And my Guruji was so nice that he said, this is the best year of your life. So I was happy. And I thought God is helping me throughout the year. And when the year came out, it got over. He told me this year, the year which passed was the worst period of your life. I was like, then he said, yeah, people
Now
end
you
up
tell me.
selling. Yeah, he said the people end up selling their shoes also. That much bad. They go onto the streets completely. But you were protected, so it went well. Then I asked, why did you tell me that? He said, if I had told that to you, you would have been thinking only about it. It is
Hmm.
it's as simple as that. It's just one small example I can think of is in Karaikal in a part of Pondicherry, there is a Shani temple. I went there and chanted Guru mantra, not knowing it is a Shani mantra. I mean, not knowing it is not for Shani Maharaj. And after that, I felt very powerful and strong, and I did all the marketing duties of that day and came back in the evening and reported to my Guruji saying that I did a mantra which you did not teach me also. On my own, I chanted it. So he appreciated and he asked me, what was it? So when I said, he asked me, didn't you see there was no mention of Shani in it at all? That was when it dawned to me that I was chanting the wrong mantra the whole day. Now, will Shani Maharaj get angry that you have given another grass mantra in my temple? I don't think so. He's a parent, isn't it? If a divine deity is a parent, parents will understand this silliness of children. And we must understand that we cannot get trapped in this auspicious and inauspicious. Simplest ways, what is auspicious is anything that is going to take your soul forward on the path. That is the most auspicious thing to do. And anything that is going against that, that is inauspicious. Isn't
Hmm.
that absolutely simple to look at if we can just
Secondly, if
realize
you
that if it
also
is.
see a lot of people, they do the rituals also, we skip sometimes. Some people, I mean, we don't complete, or when we are even doing the puja or anything, some people do the jal sankalp, some do not do it. Or so if all of it is acceptable in a way, I mean,
So it is
people.
generally for the individual who begins, like you talked about Sankalpa. Sankalpa is taken, a decision taken must be completed. But if for some reason it is not completed, which is not in your hand, you don't start jinxing yourself by bringing in negative thoughts about yourself. That will only lead to anxiety. Even if favorable time is there, you will make it unfavorable by your mind and your
Hmm.
actions accordingly. So that is something Krishna is saying, someone who is able to surrender to me. For Krishna, what can you do? Well, you should do everything. Look at Arjuna. He did everything for Krishna. Krishna would say, do this, he would immediately do it sincerely. Only in the Gita we see him questioning so much. But otherwise, in the Mahabharata, we see Arjuna to be one of the very dear devotees of Krishna doing everything. Once he told him to go to a Swayamvar, he said, okay. And there he says, now the bride has to escape from here and you're supposed to play a role. A very high moral individual like Arjuna was shocked. What kind of thing? This is the most inauspicious thing to do. But I think Krishna has shown what is the highest truth is something which is important, isn't it? If the marriage was being done without the will and consent, this was the right thing. It was his dharma to do it. So that was how we can sometimes realize that there is nothing more auspicious than the divine. And in the divine's time, every time is the moment of God. If you allow that, all can be done when the God touches there, as Sri Aurobindo says. So let us try to rise beyond that, not rejoicing, not rejecting, not grieving, not desiring. That devotee is so close to me, is what Krishna says. He goes on further. समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखेषु समः संग विवर्जितः. Friends and foes, he treats as one. In honor or dishonor, nothing is lost nor won. In comfort or sorrow, and in heat or cold, in the opposites of nature, a balance he does hold. This is also interesting. He says, friends and foes he treats as one. Honor or dishonor, nothing is lost nor won. In comfort or sorrow, and in heat or cold, in the opposites of nature, a balance he does hold. Treating friends and foes as one. How do we do this? Friend is friend. Foe is the one who is attacking you behind your back also, sometimes in front of you also. How can we treat them as one? Dear enemy, here's my back, please stab me. Is that how we approach? How do we approach friends and foes with the same spirit?
If a friend
Anybody?
or a foe, whatever they do, which is bad, you wouldn't quickly forgive your friend. It's
Yeah,
okay. You would treat him the same as you
yeah.
would treat
Okay.
your enemy, and vice versa. What you would do to your
Hmm.
enemy,
Okay.
if he's done something bad, you treat your friend the same. Don't think,
The
oh,
same
he's my
principle.
friend, so
You
let's
can't change your
decide quickly.
principles, isn't it? But
No,
you
no,
should
you've
stand
got
by those
to,
same principles. That is what
yes,
Krishna is talking about.
yes.
Because we have an example of a father getting very, very attached for his dear beloved son. He was blinded by that attachment. That is why
Mm,
we have the Mahabharata, isn't it?
mm,
For Duryodhana, everything Duryodhana did seemed to be right. Everything the Pandavas did was wrong because of attachment, isn't it? This person is close to me. When the person is close to me, anybody speaks something against that person is the number one enemy. That is an attachment. Because if your own close one is also in the wrong, you should have the courage, you should have the same principle to tell that person because that will be your best duty as a friend, also, isn't it? To your own friend, you should be able to tell him this is wrong because your friend is going to go on the wrong path otherwise. But for that, you need to have that same principle. And enemies, just because they are somebody is your enemy, do not think that that person will always do things for
bad.
your bad. By mistake, that person can do good also, no? If Krishna makes that person do something, even if he is a sworn enemy, no matter what, I am going to ensure this person's downfall. He has taken a pledge. Still, it's fine. The highest, what we can say, the highest authority is the divine, no? So by mistake, your enemy might do something which will actually benefit you. You should be able to make the most of it. You cannot be, oh, no, no, this person has done it, so it is what we had something called logic gates in our engineering. There was something called NOR gate, which will turn into opposite. Every signal which comes in, the opposite only. So we don't have to keep that with our enemy. Be alert. From your enemies also, you can sometimes get benefited. Sometimes you get benefited by your critics more than anybody else. Lucky are the ones who have critics around them because they are going to improve. Lucky are the one who have challenges. Lucky are the one who are sometimes given the most unfair experiences because then they can really rise. They can rise, and that's a test of their principles. And when your principles cross the Agni Pariksha, then there's nothing else to worry in life. You are there, your principles become firm. Where else will you get a chance to test your detachment in the real life? Then when you are with your friends and when you are with your foes. So treat them as one is what Krishna is saying. Honor or dishonor. Yes, Shashiji wants to add something?
I just want to ask a question, your view.
Yeah,
Like you said, if somebody is doing something wrong,
yeah,
a friend or whoever, that one should stand up
yeah,
and say,
yeah.
would you not say at that point when you know that it could get out of hand, there'll be a little verbal, then it could get somebody sulking and etc., etc. Would you not then say that the best time then is to say, to
Yeah,
give
but
it
if that time does not come
Krishna's
at
hand
all,
and say,
if that
you
just say, Shashiji, like that is right. When somebody is angry, somebody is frustrated, don't disturb that person because that person is not receptive. Second is Gita
Mhm.
has told us to not go and preach. Like I don't, my best friend is the one who is a, I asked him, do you believe in God? He says 200% I don't believe in God. So I don't go and try to tell him you must believe it is for good. I say I just appreciate his principles and morals, which is
Yeah.
allowing him to go ahead. But when he
Mm.
asks me, I tell about See, for me, I think God only does everything, but I don't try to convert him into my view. But
Mm.
as a duty, when even if my best friend is doing something wrong, and I will try to find a good, convenient moment to speak it, like you have rightly said. But what if that moment does not come at all? You have to make an
Well,
attempt, isn't it? Sometime or the other. Do it dispassionately. I have,
absolutely. I
yeah.
agree with you there. The only reason I'm asking is if it's a long drawn out situation
Hmm.
and some dear
No,
person is
at least once,
involved.
if you feel it is your duty, no, it is up to the individual. It is up to the individual, and
Yeah,
Maitri is something which cannot be defined.
no,
The individual only
absolutely.
can identify the level of the understanding and everything which is there. But if you feel it is this person is going wrong and this person is somebody who is close to you, at least once you have to tell that. If that person does not agree or does not listen, at least don't reinforce that person's wrong opinion.
Mm.
Sometimes by staying silent on, you're giving they say silence is half consent.
Yes, very dangerous that. Yes, you're
Yes,
right.
yes, you are reinforcing a wrong opinion, and you must be so
Yeah.
detached that you should be ready to be receiving the abuses also of your friend if, for speaking the truth, if it is needed. If the moment is not out of revenge or out of I want to show this person wrong, but we
Yeah.
have to do that at some times. Inconvenient truths have to be told at times, but the time has to be decided not by emotions, but by the moment and the need of that action.
Yeah, this is the issue. Like you said, it's here, it said, no time is auspicious because one waits for the right time.
Yeah, and we
The
delay it,
moment never comes.
and that sometimes life goes on. Life goes completely without knowing. So generally, I
Yes,
believe the most auspicious time is now. And I
when
have
I'm ready,
received
never
plenty
mind
of
anybody
abuses from
else.
plenty of my friends.
Yes.
I have had friends who have told me certain things that they will never talk to me. And I have had friends who have stopped talking to me also. But at the same time, there are friends who have talked to me, and when the time comes, maybe they might understand it. Maybe when they might understand after a decade. I do not know, but I've done my duty. At least I'm
Yeah,
confident of that aspect, and I can say I
and
tried
then you
and I
let go.
failed. I failed. It's okay. There's nothing wrong in that.
So this is very common
Hmm.
problem among female friendships also. When you try and tell your friends that okay, the person you are dating is not good for you, they might not take it well. It's very, very common
Yeah.
in female friendships or in all friendships, of course. But
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
decide intuitively if it's a good idea to talk about it or not, even if they're coming for an advice.
No, if
It
you
a
see
lot of
somebody with a psychopathic tendency, Shwetaji, if you
people don't
see,
have very objective views. They are like, okay, whatever I'm saying, you please just validate. They're talking. A lot of
Yeah.
times, people don't want you to give a very honest opinion.
yeah, no, just
Yes.
Shwetaji, just if I might ask you a question, if your good friend is there and that friend is talking to you about someone or anybody,
Mhm.
and but
Hmm.
that individual you have identified some psychopathic traits in that individual, will you not point it out?
I will tell
Yes,
her.
that is all. You have to do your duty and leave it, whether the person takes it or
Uh,
not. That is all.
it
That
is
is all.
very recent. My very close. I'll just take 2 minutes to tell this. My very close school childhood friend. I went to meet her in Bombay. She had a baby recently. She was complaining about her husband a lot, and her father passed away right before her marriage, like 2 years before marriage. So she was complaining a lot. Then I said, do you understand that your expectations are not fair on any man? Nobody can fulfill this. I suggest you take therapy. And she couldn't, because we are so close, we are so used to ranting to each other that when I told her not to rant to me, this is not going to solve anything for her. She did not like it. She said, तू सुन भी नहीं रही है. मैंने कहा हाँ नहीं सुन रही हूँ. You need a therapist right now. I can't solve this for
Okay.
you. So I think
Yeah.
yes, I did what I had to.
But then you don't worry about the consequence, whether you are appreciated or
I
not
didn't
for
want
it.
to be
Yeah. Let's continue. Yes.
Hmm.
So,
I have a
yeah.
question here.
Yes, sir.
So the point here is that we need to treat our friends and foes same. या दोनों परिस्थिति में सम रहना है.
Yes, samatva,
So what is the
oneness.
takeaway here? How do we like enemy से कैसे आप how can you treat them same? I mean, what is the takeaway here? What are those one or two points which we need
Friends
to?
can teach you. Like I think the Doha of Kabir is there, no sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Nindaka niyare
Nindak
rakhiyo
niyare
angan
rakhi.
koti. Yes, yes, yes. So, means what I'm saying is now when we come to Gita, we understand beyond individual relationships, we understand something about divine functioning in the general everyday relationship.
Everyone.
Meaning your friend who has been placed by the divine. Foe also has been placed by the divine. Friend is doing a duty of probably whatever Maitri Dharma the friend is upholding. The Shatru also is making, like Ravana was the enemy, isn't it? Of Sri Rama. Yet Sri Rama could do a namaskar and treat him with as one, though he has actually done the most unforgivable thing. Because Ravana was the black side of Sri Rama, the other side, the other side of some the divine aspects in the individual. Can we not appreciate the divine in, I mean, the divine in even our enemies if they are doing something wrong, but we can appreciate their good traits, isn't it, sir?
Of course, the good qualities
And
of anybody.
yes,
Yeah.
good qualities, anybody. And to appreciate good qualities of anybody, we should look at everybody as individuals and not
Probably
like
this makes sense.
friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
We look them at as individuals, like, as
Same
beings,
level.
as beings. So
Yeah.
I may love somebody because of my personal preferences, but I cannot get carried away by my love and become blind by that only.
Mm.
Same way, I may dislike someone that, like they like one very famous, not famous, but for me, I've changed her name as No only because when I asked how are you, she could not stand me with something I knew all the time. But when I just called her, she wanted some work from me. This senior lady who is like a mother figure, but she always gets irritated with me, and somehow God gives her situations where she has to come to me and talk to me. All those times she's irritated. So I just asked, "How are you, Ji? Namaste." How are you? Response was no. I was so surprised. How can somebody say no to her? How are you? That's because of the irritation inside. But I did not try to correct her. Ki, what is the meaning of this? Even when she made me do some work for her, but that work was a right work, so I did it. Not because I was trying to appease her or I wanted something from her. It was a work which would help things go ahead. But her traits did not change then also. Her traits will not change probably anytime I meet her in the future also. But I think treating as one allowed me to, read actually this small something nice started because of it. In Sri Aurobindo's Light, Gita in Sanskrit and English small audio series I could do. One friend, somebody had talked about it. So this is something which we should be as individuals. Like
Right.
when people used to come, the mother used to see individuals as just souls when they would come to take the darshanas, no, of her in the ashram. That time she would just say, people put so many layers inside of our outer coatings that you really cannot identify. She would say, what is in their true heart. So, and she would just see on the soul level, a soul is come, a soul is gone. That is all. That
Yeah.
is something we should look at. Friends and foes, well, they're all
Makes
puppets
sense.
anyway, no, in Krishna's
Yeah.
hands.
I think
Let's. Yes, yes,
I
Ji.
think one best form of revenge is to be nice to the people who treat you badly.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, that is true. That
Yeah,
is
so
true.
I really embarrass them. They'll feel very bad because
Okay.
I know I've
Ah,
experienced it. I've had experiences with
yeah.
my own friends who have been bad to
Okay.
me or rude to me, and I've
Yeah.
been nice to them. And then they would wonder, why is she being so nice in spite of my being so rude or harsh? So
Yes,
it would
yes,
really,
yes.
I mean, if
Right.
people who have some element of goodness in them, and I believe in the basic goodness of all mankind, so they
Ji,
would
ji.
probably be change a little.
We can actually awaken the good in other people also. There is something, the divine trait inside others. We can aspire for that to rise. Because Sant Jnaneshwar had it beautifully said, Duritanche timira. Let the bad nature inside of the bad doers disappear. Then they will become good, isn't it? The darkness of
Mm.
ignorance, let that disappear. And if you aspire, every prayer is heard. So we don't have to worry too much. We just focus on our action. Dr. Nandakeshwarji was adding something, sir. Then probably we look at this shloka and stop. Yes, sir.
This just reiterating what Mishra ji talked about. Nindakache gara asaveshezari. Tukaram Maharaj used to say. So
Okay.
when your Nindak is your next door neighbor or he's your colleague, he gets best out of you. He points your mistakes. If you are doing something wrong, it gives us opportunity to correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
Sir,
I
the
was
previous
writing a
chapter
research paper,
after
and
the
one person asked me, "Is it a research paper?" I had written a paper, and is this a research paper? Then I had spent so many days to write it, and then when I'm asked this after so much effort, then I asked, "What is it? Why is it not a research paper?" And then the person actually explained so many points which made it so much better. So yes, Vinitaji is saying something.
Yeah, in the previous chapter, in the Vishwarupa, Krishna says he is there everywhere. So here
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
probably trying to say that in all the dualities, you see me. Like, don't be swayed by
yeah, yeah.
joy or sorrow, friend or
Absolutely,
foe,
absolutely.
things
Yes,
like that.
yes, yes. This is a very nice thing. Vinitaji, I talked about the dualities or dvandva. Krishna talks about elsewhere in the Gita, dvandva tita, the one who is able to transcend the dualities, all these dualities of friends and foes, honor or dishonor. People get too attached to honor and start doing dishonorable things without their knowledge. So, honor, dishonor, let's just understand there is one truth, and that truth you have to surrender to it. There you will learn to see what is right. So that is one. Comfort or sorrow, or in heat or cold. This also means this is like personal comforts, personally good situation or a bad situation. I think can we forget our duties? Hey, I'm going through a bad time, so I'm not going to do my work. Nobody can say that, isn't it? Life experiences will come, and the strangest part is it's very difficult to find somebody who does not have a bad time, isn't it? Every time we feel, "Arey, my time is bad." Look at the person, other person who is having what is who is not having a bad time. But you can comfort or sorrow in heat or also cold. Some people are very affected by their temperatures. This place is not good because I didn't like it, and so I will not do my work. One particular in our factory, it's a small industry. A new worker had come. When we were in the city, it was more troublesome. Village people are sturdier. We can see they don't really complain at all. So we had made the medicine. I manufactured it. I have done everything. She has to just go to the post office, which is less than 10 minutes or 15 minutes away. So I just said, "Can you go and give this to the post office?" She just looked at me, looked at the clock. "It is summer," she started saying. I was like, "Yes." So, "No, now I have to go. It is 4:30 right now. If I go there, there will be a line. By the time I come, it will be 5:10. So I don't know." I was so surprised. I said, "Now I should only go and deliver this. What is the meaning of this?" And look at that. So much preference to comforts that the duty is not being done. And it was understood that this person will not work too long because that person might have another plans. And that came out to be true only because you can identify something like that. Sometimes God gives us difficult moments. We got to fight your way through that. You can't just say, "Oh, today air conditioner is not working, so I can't do work today." The most important work can actually be done that day if you are caring more about the work or your personal comfort. So I think when you're doing Krishna's work, at least, means when you're working in your workplace, you can ensure your workplace is comfortable. It is your kshetra. Krishna gives you certain freedom there. But in that freedom, you cannot forget what is the divine's work. That is something Krishna is saying. So the opposites of nature also, this same balance or samatha must be there. That is what Krishna has said. This is the 18th shloka. It is a continuation of, if everybody are okay, we can look at two more shlokas, otherwise we conclude. Can we look at two more shlokas? This adhyaya will be completed. Yes, everybody? All right, thank you. So, the 19th is just a continuation. 18 and 19 are normally translated in unison only. So, it goes on. This is actually a little bigger shloka, the 19th one. तुल्या निंदा स्तुतिर्मौनी संतुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर् भक्तिमान में प्रियो नरा. In praise or censure, he is poised and peaceful. With whatever that comes naturally, he remains blissful. With whatever that comes naturally, he remains blissful. When from his people, things, or home he can detached be, a soul with such devotion and conviction is dear to me. So when Krishna had to say who is dear, he had to use two shlokas because here he is coming to the most important part. One is this same thing, the same concept of praise or censure, remaining peaceful even if somebody says you are the biggest fool. Thank you. Okay. What do you want to do with the biggest fool? Let's see if we can do something. You can remain peaceful even if somebody really criticizes you so much. Same way, because if you are not evaluating yourself on basis of somebody's evaluations, you are free, isn't it? Somebody can think I am very smart. I can say that is a misconception. Somebody can say I am very foolish. That is also a misconception. I don't need to, because this person thinks I am smart, I should be standing by that level. It's not required at all. That is enough. That is some person feels something that person may feel something else. So you got to be free there. Praise or censure, poised and peaceful. With whatever that comes naturally, he remains blissful. Anything that comes naturally is considered as a gift from the God, gift from the divine, whatever comes to me. Wow, today I got such a beautiful sweet on my plate. Thank you. Wow, today I got beautiful bitter gourd. Thank you. Both, if you can say thank you to the divine, that is something very remarkable. Krishna is asking us to go there. And then comes the last part here. This is where everybody has objection with Krishna. He says, when from his people, things or home, he can detached be. Such a soul with such devotion and conviction is dear to me. Here is where Krishna has crossed the line. That is why so many people say, Ghar mein Bhagavad Gita mat rakho, Mahabharat will take place. I was so surprised when somebody actually told this to me, and one elder said, yes, that is true. My elders also told me not to keep Gita in the house. I was shocked. I was surprised. I said, what is the logic? They said, no, Mahabharata will happen. One very strong question was coming. Just because you have kept the Gita out of the house, has Mahabharata not taken place? Because I knew big legal cases are going on in that home. But I could not ask that question because that person didn't want to receive. But this aspect of attachment, so much. Krishna is not breaking families here when he says this. You have to become detached from your own people, from your own things, from your own home. He's just asking you to follow that same principle of samatva from your own people, from your own things, from your own home. We all have an aspiration of an ideal home, isn't it? Many of us like to claim our home is ideal, or many of us want our home to be ideal. But then when that ideal nature is not upheld, what happens? We feel like running away only.
Why?
Yes,
Because
Shwetaji? Yes, please.
everybody has a different idea what our ideal home should
That
be
is the
like.
problem also. Yes.
And this was expectations are
Temperature
not
of AC
calibrated.
should be 26 degree for somebody. Somebody will say 30 degree only. Another person will say 18 is too hot.
If you
Yes.
see somebody, if they're getting their home renovated after 25 years, 20 years, then you see the environment in the house. It seems as if, I mean, with all the blessings that you can get the house
Yeah.
renovated, people
Yes,
fight
yes.
so much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's a okay, fine. That is one thing Shwetaji shared. Shashiji, yes, please.
No, I was just saying that sorry, I was just saying that basically Krishna is saying, trust me, where he says
Yeah,
that, you can be detached, things from home, people be detached. Basically, what I see is him saying, trust me, have trust in me, don't worry so much,
yeah.
you know,
Yes, yes,
have
yes, absolutely.
faith in
So,
me that I'll make sure
yes,
things are
something happened and
okay.
your audio level fell by 80%. Yes, see.
I'm sorry. Can
Yeah,
you
no
hear me
problem.
better?
It's still soft, it's still soft. But I heard what you said. Let's take it ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
So when people, things are home, I think we want our members of the family or members of our home to behave in a particular manner, which we consider just, we consider fair, we consider something as right. But I think as Shwetaji just shared to us, people can have different ideas of what ideal is. Somebody may feel this person needs to be supported more. Somebody may feel this person does not need support for whatever reason. But irrespective of all of this, if you can treat them with oneness. And you can be detached. You're not going to get affected by it. That is number one, Krishna says. Second, he says, your own things also. Let's not have a mad position for our own things. Which property are we going to take in the afterlife? Nothing. Nothing is going to be ours. So let's stop getting so attached. Or even your home. What is your home? Where you stay, that is the home, isn't it? If
Our
Krishna sends
body,
you elsewhere. Yes.
I'm just saying our body is our home.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yes. Shiva Manas Puja. Prana Shariram Gruham. This is the body. And it is like how the poet say, under the wide and starry sky, dig the grave and let me lie. Let me lie. This entire Bhuloka is my home. Or how Vishwache Maze Ghara is how this is one nice, you can say, I think it was, I think Sant Tukaram only, I'm not sure if it is him, but he had beautifully said, the world is my home. I am a traveler. I am a soul living in this world. So let us be free from our attachments. We have to understand we are children of the divine first. So if we can understand that, you will not be bound. You will not be bound by any of these attachments of others also. Then it is difficult, which requires, that's why Krishna has to say, a soul with such devotion and conviction is dear to me. Listening to the divine call, overcoming all the attachments. Sometimes the attachments feel like chains only, no? You know that you're getting bound, and somehow you are feeling you cannot escape from this at all. But no, the divine's call is always higher. That is how great people have done great things, isn't it? At times people have had to leave their home, no? At times people have to go against what was the custom, what was the tradition also sometimes. But for what? For something higher, for the higher truth, or for the call of God. So for the call of God, I think you need to keep everything aside. It is like they say Vishnu Karmodadi Shukra Mata Vadhi. Even the mother, he was willing to, for the divine sake, he was willing to sacrifice his mother. That is a very interesting story. We'll look at that else some other time. Because as much as they say parents are your gods, parents are also sometimes the first enemies at times. With all due respect, we have to keep their respect. Their place will never be taken by anybody. I cannot change my parents. No matter, even if Krishna comes and says, yes, you are my divine parent, but earth parents are these people who have given my lovely parents. They have given. But that does not mean at all times I will have to only obey what is being told. Sometimes I'll have to follow my swadharma. At that time, we must be free. We must be free and detached. Otherwise, you cannot follow the swadharma. After 50 years, you cannot make a complaint. No, no, I did not do this at all because that day, no, my elder had eaten a particular food and that food had spoiled his stomach. He took out anger on me and told me, don't do. Will that work 50 years later for not following your Swadharma? Nobody will be there to listen to it. You have to understand your duty is there. You have to stand for it, and for that, you have to become detached. Detachment does not mean non emotion or no love for your members or people. Husband and wife also should practice detachment if they want to love each other truly. Otherwise, they will be creating echo chambers only for each other. You are so good, yeah, yeah, you are better, or we both are only good, everybody else is bad. And that is all. That is just attachment. Instead of single person's ego, it becomes a group ego. That is where we have to become free, is what Krishna says. With this, let's go to the last shloka. Ye tu dharmya mrutamidam यथोक्तं परिपासते श्रद्धधान मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियः. Krishna says, but the dearest of my devotees is he. This is the one. Shashiji, who is dearest? This is the shloka. Krishna is saying, but the dearest of my devotees is only he, whose supreme aim in life is to love only me. For he emulates my teachings with perfect devotion, and his life is the immortal Dharma's exemplification. The dearest of my devotees, Krishna says, is that individual whose entire ambition, aspiration, Every action is directed towards this only, is to love the divine completely. What is your ambition? We say low aim is a crime. Well, my Guruji also would say aspire to become God. I want to become one with the divine, nothing less than that. That is the ambition of that individual. And what is he doing? He is emulating my teachings with perfect devotion, with full shraddha, with the best possible ability of that individual. He's pouring all his love or her love and trying to follow the principles. And that person's life becomes the example of Sanatan Dharma, of the eternal Dharma. That person becomes the beacon, that person becomes the torch, that person becomes the example. That is what Krishna is saying. Such a person, who is my dearest devotee, is the one who is not just reading my book, who is not just parroting my name, who is not just throwing so many verses of poetry in praise of me. My dearest devotee does not need to have any of these talents. The only thing he needs to have is that he should be able to live and practice my principles. He should be the example. He should walk the talk. Otherwise, it's all just drama, nothing else. So, the dearest devotee, Krishna says, is the one who is following his principles. And I think we have a plenty of time in our life to follow his principles if we decide, because a lifetime is enough. Hold on to any one shloka, any one principle of the Gita. If somebody asked, like one person did ask me, in your so many years of studying of Gita, I don't know why I started studying also, and now I am not able to stop studying it. But in so many years, what is it that you have understood, or what is your aspiration now after this? What more beyond this? This only is not going to be enough in one birth. And one shloka, if you see even the simple shloka, karmanye vadikaraste mam phaleshu kadachan. Expectation, not to have expectation and doing your action. It is so difficult. I'm planning to, when I, at least by 75, I will try to at least practice it, say 85%. Or in this birth, if I can practice, that would be the success. So, like that, let us practice, because we will, without our knowing, we will become Krishna's most beloved. When you become Krishna's beloved, you are going to be part of his Leela only. It's a great joy. Yes, Shashiji. Yes, please.
So there's no right age to practice
Huh?
this then.
Yes,
There is
yes,
no
yes.
right age to practice this then.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is no right. They say, Vayaha na samikshate, dharma vruddheshu vaya na samikshate. Who is young in this birth was actually very old when somebody else is old, who is old right now, isn't it? We are going through so many lifetimes. So there's age is just a number. It's nothing beyond that. Yes, Ji.
But Sushruji, things, anything that comes to one, I'll talk about me, it comes, you get wiser as you age, because
Yeah.
wisdom comes with what
Yes.
you go
Yes.
through. And by
Yes.
the time you're wise enough, there isn't much time left
Ah,
to practice
no, no,
this
that is, I
properly.
think we do not know. We do not know. It's like the Buddha has said, there's a statement about one of his teachings, that we are one spark away from realization. We don't know it. It's just one spark. It's like Arjuna suddenly connected all dots in 8th Adhyay. Till 8th Adhyay, he was saying, Krishna, I did not, he said, I didn't understand anything. He said, what is this yoga you're talking about? It makes no sense to me. And suddenly in 8th Adhyay, for him, all the dots connected. And boss got his darshan also. He got Vishwarupa, he got Chaturbhuja, now he is getting extra also. What is Bhakti Yoga? So I think
Okay,
there
so
is one
there's
need
no.
not worry about the age. So I think with this we are ready to complete. I thought 5 shlokas might get over quickly, but it took more time. I'm sorry for the delay. If anybody has anything to ask or share, otherwise we will conclude the session as it might be getting late for everybody. Just a takeaway point in short, if somebody can just say, what is the takeaway for today? We'll quickly go ahead.
My takeaway is the 16th sloka. Sarvaramba Parityagi.
Okay.
Those lines.
Yes. I'll not start anything new. Krishna will keep starting everything new. I'll do it happily. But I will not say I have started anything or I have done anything new or great. Whatever is done is by him. So, okay. That's one great takeaway which Anjali ji shared. All right, I think with this we will conclude if nobody else wants to add. Yeah, Pallavi, yes, please. You're adding something?
Be indifferent to things around.
Okay. Yeah, detached, not indifferent, isn't it?
Yeah, to the dualities, be indifferent.
Yeah, transcending the dualities, being concerned but not being attached. Yes, ji. All right. Hari Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् कृष्ण वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम
Good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Hari
Krishna.
Om.
Hari Om.
थैंक यू जी
Hari Om.
हरि हरि ओम
Hari Om.
हरि ओम जी नमस्कार
Namaskar.
हरि ओम
Thank you.